Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Sons of Faeriell. Sons of Faeriell is brought to you by Tabula Games. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and games range anywhere from 90 to 120 minutes. Sons of Faeriell is a semi-cooperative strategic Eurogame with asymmetric player powers and multiple endings, guiding your tribe of waybits in the pursuit of their goals and helping the great guardians in need. You will face the menace of corruption, which is endangering the whole land. It's only a matter of time until the allure of corruption becomes unstoppable, and all its devastating effects. Strategic choices will be crucial for the destiny of Faeriell and for your tribe of waybits. Will you team up with others or stand out as a villain? The choice is yours: cooperate or embrace corruption. There are 2 ways to win the game, 1 by collecting the most achievements, and 2 by obtaining the corruption sour and making all other players lose to corruption as the doom reaches the maximum peak in its 15th slot. The map is composed of 8 main areas, each one divided into 4 regions. Each region is outlined by paths and nodes. Each of the Great Guardians belong to a specific area of the map, and you will randomly place each of the Guardians in the respective areas. Also in those areas, you will place the corresponding attunement cards. On one side of the board, you will place the heirloom herb cards and the perk tiles. At the bottom is where you'll set up the spiritual totem and beacons. At the top, you will start the doom track at 0, placing a token and the mass there. Next to the doom track is the corruption sour tile and its perks. On the other side of the board is where you will place the essence cards. These are the resources in the game. Red is produced by mountains, yellow is produced by meadows, blue is produced by rivers, green is produced by forests, and corruption is gained by solving corruption events. Also, on the bottom of the board is the harvest wheel, and an event bag full of menace tokens. And some of the guardians will start with menace tokens already in play. Now, each player chooses a tribe color, setting up the player board with matching colored tokens, tiles, waybits, and masks. Each player chooses a hero to start with. Along with its first perk, 2 action crystals are added to the hero card. The other heroes are placed on the other side of the board in reserve. At the top of the board are your tracking tokens, next to your achievement cubes, one of which will be placed on the main board's purity achievement track. You will also place a token of your color on the tribe corruption track on the main board. You have 3 tokens to track the phases in this game, and you'll place those next to your player board as well. And in turn order, you'll be placing settlements into regions on the board. The rest go on your player board, also grabbing 2 essence cards matching the regions where you have settlements. The game is divided into a series of rounds. Each round counts as 3 turns per player. In each turn, each player chooses and resolves one of the phases. There are 3 different kinds of phases. Event phase, in which new menaces are assigned and players receive essence. Hero phase, in which the players can move heroes through the map and use their abilities. Tribe phase, in which the players can buy, build, and improve game elements. Each phase is represented by its own phase tile. Each turn, the active player chooses one face-up tile, turns it face down, and resolves the corresponding phase. Once a phase has been resolved and its tile is face down, it can't be chosen again for the rest of the round. When the phase has been resolved, the turn ends. So we won't be doing a deep dive into these phases in the interest of time, but let me give you a little bit closer look at each. So first we have the event phase, and in this phase you can move the Guardian. You can perform its movement once per event phase, and you can do it as long as you have the card of that Great Guardian you want to move in your essence pool. And then we have the menace draft. So first you're going to check the doom track, and based on where it is will determine the number of tokens you're going to pull from the event bag. And then placing these tokens on guardians, which might advance the doom track. There's also corruption trigger events in this bag, as well as havoc tokens that might also affect the doom track. So you'll also solve a menace with a beacon or a spiritual totem. The corresponding colored menace token is removed and you draw a matching essence card. You will also be moving up your tracker on your player board. And then finally we have harvest. So when you use the harvest wheel at the bottom of the board, it allows you to move that tracker based on your settlements. Now, based on getting a guardian or a region icon, This will allow the players to take essence cards, being mindful, of course, that guardians or areas that have corruption or are threatened will diminish what you can do to get essence cards in these areas. Now let's take a look at the tribe phase. This is where you can buy or use any number of advancements. You can choose any tribe action to perform in any order, and there's a cost to be mindful of for each of these things, which uses your essence cards. You can dress a new hero, simply acquiring a new hero and placing it on the board. You can level up a hero, adding new perk tiles. These tiles add lots of abilities to your hero. You can build a settlement. Pretty straightforward, really. You're placing a new settlement which must be adjacent to a region you own. You can build a beacon or control the spiritual totem. From the bottom of the board, these will help you remove corruption. And you can gather an heirloom herb and or attune with a great guardian, gaining the appropriate cards, again, giving your tribe special abilities to help you in your quest to stop the corruption. Now let's take a look at the hero phase. So in the hero phase, there are 3 types of actions. You have hero actions, you have perk actions, and lore actions. Each hero can take any of these actions in any order. And when your hero is done taking the chosen actions, or you decide to do none, you will pass the turn to the next player. Each hero may perform the same action more than once if you so choose, and you will use the action gems on your hero tiles to keep track of the available actions left for each of your heroes. Now to break down the hero actions, which include movement, as you'd expect. Heroes can move along paths. However, you can't move into regions. You move your hero a number of nodes up to that hero's level. Or you might solve a menace. Using your matching colored heroes, remove or solve a menace token from the board or a region you are currently in. Gain an essence card and move your tracking token up. Or you might choose to go on a quest. This is about using your hero type. You draw a card from the appropriate essence deck and you will form your quest pool. These cards are then used to solve a quest. You choose a card from your quest pool and check the current position of the Great Guardian depicted on its hidden side. To solve a quest, a hero must be on a node of that region where the Guardian is located. Now, a quick rundown on the perk actions. Based on the tile, it will allow you to do any number of things, like removing a menace by spinning an action gem, or allow your hero to have extra movement. Or some perks give your hero special abilities, like taking extra movement when you solve a menace. So putting together an effective set of perks for your hero is crucial in fighting the corruption of the land. Finally, we have lore actions. This is where your attunements or heirloom cards come into play, again giving you special abilities like dealing with menace tokens. Now, throughout the game, you will be claiming achievements, as that is one of the goals of the game, is to have the most. So there are many achievements to go after. Things like having solved 4 or more red menaces, having the most total hero levels. You will move your marker from your player board to the track on the top of the main board for that to be counted. And finally, let's talk a little bit about corruption, as it is a key element of Sons of Faeriell, and the choices players make about it will determine the evolution of the game. Corruption essences are wild cards. They can be spent in place of any other essence when paying for advancements. Now, there is no limit to the number of corruption essences that you can spend this way. The only way to obtain these corruption cards is by solving corruption events. And of course, the Doom track represents the devastating effects of corruption. The further the Doom token advances on it, the more Faeriell is in danger. You will be moving the Doom track in several ways. When a player claims an achievement without paying the required cost. When an already threatened Great Guardian should be assigned another menace token. When a player chooses to ignore corruption during a corruption event, or when the Havoc token is drawn from the event bag. Your tribe corruption level will rise each time you choose to yield to corruption during a corruption event. If you gain the corruption sour, your goal has changed. Now you want the corruption track to hit 15 in an effort to stop the other players from hitting their 5th achievement, which will bring doom to Faeriell. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, we gave you a quick look at some of the things in this game, but there is way more depth than we could cover here in a timely fashion. But you should definitely check out their campaign for more detailed information about each of the phases and how they work. But the thing that strikes me most about this game is that it's a Euro, but with a really interesting theme. And the theme really does come through in this game, and I like that a lot. And I really like the miniatures with the mass and just the message that it conveys as you try to save this land. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like a game that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it from me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.